episode 68 of the May Contain Action podcast. Today's show is brought to you by highpass.gg, the best DMCA free music streaming service out there. Go to highpass.gg now, pick your vibe, your favorite place to listen, and enjoy. How's everyone doing? I'm Trevor May, host number 2, aka I am Trevor May, and I am joined as always because my other host is always on the show as opposed to me. Host number 1, ActionJaxon, Paul.
Oh, you said it. Yeah. Hi. Sheesh. Yeah, I actually don't think I've ever missed an episode.
You haven't. You've been on
recorded without me.
No, I've never recorded. PM. I'm the only one ever filled in for. So
wow.
That
You've never missed one.
I'm just gonna take a break. I think for a bit. Let you host a couple.
Yeah, the pod's not gonna happen. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it just won't happen.
PM. It's just gonna be PM by himself.
Yeah, no one is listening to a podcast with me in it. I'm so sorry. So today on a fortnight. Yeah. Anyways.
No. Trevor could do one solo. I'll have something going on. It'll be fine.
You know. Yeah. You just. That's the thing. You just never have anything going on, Paul.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah. All right.
Oh, there he is. Also, just for anyone watching live, yes, this is an adult onesie. I am in cozy hours. Shut your mouth.
In cozy hours.
It's cozy hours. It's 7 on a what day is it? What day of the week is it? Thursday.
Are they footed onesies, or do you have to wear?
There's no footies. No. They gotta.
You have socks on?
I don't. I have UGG slippers on.
Wow, you're maximum comfort right now.
Hashtag cozy hours.
I'm
about to just leave the pod, put on Co's stream, and just watch Cozy, whatever the hell he's playing. You know what I mean?
Fall Guys, probably.
Cozy Fall Guys.
Yeah.
That's not cozy. That's not cozy at all.
That's sweaty as hell.
Yeah, no.
Can I say hell?
Yeah, you can say hell. You can say whatever you want.
Okay.
Mystery guest we haven't announced yet. Though you may recognize the voice. Before we introduce the guest, though, really quickly, moving through the intro in a timely manner. Want to be on the pod? You can leave a message or text us at 503-908-9526. If you get a plumber in the greater Portland, Oregon area, you might have had one of the numbers wrong. So that is 503-908-9526. Leave your question. We may just ask it on the episode. We have one of those later. I'm excited to ask it because it's pretty cool.
Nice.
But now, let's welcome this week's guest. Streamer, amateur smoker of various forms of protein. I was not about to say meat. Entrepreneur and so many other things that we're just going to move on because for the interest of time. Darkness 429 is joining us today and very much on short notice. So we really appreciate you.
We're in the audience. I love there's an audience. That's awesome. Hey, thanks for having me.
You know,
yeah, we got a bunch of Gen Zers in the audience tonight.
They're super excited to listen to this pod.
Yeah, this is filmed before a live PM with a soundboard. So. Nailed it.
This is awesome.
Nailed it.
This is cool. I've never been on a show like this before.
We're like a radio show.
Yeah, we're like a show. Oh,
yeah,
man.
like a real show. This is so different from what we do during the day.
Exactly. I know. This is wild.
Yeah, like we can talk about all the stuff we can never talk about.
Dog.
There it is. That was
Jen's
it. You were looking for it.
Jen's here.
Jen's always here.
In spirit.
With us
Jen's always
spirit.
here. Oh my gosh. Again, yeah, thank you, Tim, for coming on so short notice. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. You didn't have anyone else. That's fine.
It's very knew that was coming. Yeah, we're actually not critically acclaimed. No one apparently cares about the pod anymore. So it's tough times. Thanks for bringing it up. So we like to get to know our guests typically. So Tim, your name.
Paul.
I don't think I've never heard this story.
What's
either.
the story?
There is no story.
What's the story behind your name? What does it mean?
It is. Oh, so like the gamer tag.
Yeah.
So if I could go back in time, let's look at 14-year-old me playing Battlefield 2.
100%.
A little edgy, sure. Testosterone just raging through that body of mine, and I'm just like, I'm gonna be darkness.
There's St. Ives lotion everywhere. Go on,
So of course, darkness was taken, and so I thought it'd be fun to take the numbers at the end of my AIM screen name and change it around a little bit, and I got 429. So if 30-year-old me could go back in time and tell 14-year-old me that, like, hey, you're going to get a little bit of internet fame, you should just grab Timmy on everything, TIMMEH on everything. Yeah, you'll thank yourself later, because branding for Darkness 429 is terrible. It's really bad. It's better than my Xbox gamer tag, which is XX. It's lowercase x, uppercase X, Darkness 429. Uppercase X, lowercase x. And so for continuity, I had to, of course, do that on PlayStation as well. So if you see XX Darkness 429 XX, that's me.
That's really you.
That's really me.
So when you're playing like Destiny, and you're playing like...
Yep. And then sometimes when I play a game that's like integrated through Microsoft, I'll come up as XX Darkness 429 XX on stream.
Oh, no.
In front of lots of people. It's really embarrassing.
I'm going to look it up.
You're an OG, bro. Mine's Turtle a la mode on...
Turtle a la mode.
Mm-hmm.
Is adorable.
Nothing. I couldn't even explain where that... I think it was generated.
That just makes me think of like Roadkill.
Yeah. It's like a dead turtle with ice cream on it.
Exactly.
That's what it is. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like you got the Darkness 429 just. I don't know. I think that it works.
Now it works. We made it work. Yeah, it's just like the numbers. You're kind of like, man, I wish I could just like shave those off.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's too late. The branding's already established. Might as well just own it until it's done.
Just go with it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you're also continuing the trend of Facebook gamers keeping the number in there. You and Stone Mountain just rocking it.
True.
It's just
true.
Stone Mountain's he's got to have a very similar story to yours.
It's actually just his last name.
Excuse me? What? His last name is 64?
Or Stone?
No. The Stone Mountain part is his last name. And then 64, I forgot where the 64. He told me the story. It's about it's a lot like mine.
His last name is Stone Mountain?
Yeah. In German, I think.
Okay. All right.
His real last name is.
I was like, pardon?
Wow. At least it's a badass name, though. Hello, I am David Stone Mountain. Like, okay. Is that a sword you have and chainmail?
Now my name's stupid compared to yours. Okay. Goodness. All right, so your Darkness 429. What was your first one though? Because you mentioned AIM, you mentioned mixing the numbers around. What was your first ever screen name?
Comp Dork.
Like computer dork?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm
a little foreshadowing, huh?
God, such a hard cringe. Oh.
Comp dork. And mine's Turtle all mode, and I'm laughing at you. I can't even remember my first name.
His is so on the nose. Yours is random. Yours might as well be like freaking ketchup deviant. Like, who cares? His is so specific. Like, I want you to know that I'm into computers. Like a lot.
Yeah, now I'm a CTO of a company. Like, I mean, it all worked out. Look at it.
You're the CTO?
Yeah, of Rare Drop.
Of Rare Drop? You're the chief technology officer. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, a little foreshadowing. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, CTO. Wow.
CFO.
What did you think CTO stood for, Paul?
CEO, I don't know. Chief
Executive Officer.
Technical Officer.
That's what it stands for.
Chief Titty Officer. I don't know.
You just said the right thing.
What do you? Okay, all right, Paul. What do you think a Chief Titty Officer would do?
I don't know. You just manage and delegate all of the tits within a given area.
That sounds misogynistic.
That just sounds like a sexual harassment charge.
Be only men. What are you talking about?
That just sounds like sexual harassment. I would get like. How would that work?
You're in charge of purple nurples.
Exactly.
You thought it was fake. Oh my goodness.
You just make sure everyone is just like lifting all the time and has just like really good chest muscles. I don't know.
Just make their muscles move.
Exactly. Okay. There's a chief bicep officer. There's a
CBO.
The CBO.
Chief
the CGO would be the chief glute officer.
Mm-hmm. Now that one's real risky.
Paul, that actually could be Paul.
That's you. Ooh. Chief cake officer, CCO.
I'm hired. No, can I say that about myself? Can you say I'm hired? I'm hired.
Yeah.
Where do we go? Where how did we get here? Where are we?
I don't know.
Where are we?
Is this how the podcast normally goes?
Yeah, we told the line and then
Perfect. Great.
Derailed.
Okay. I was worried it was just me. So here's the thing. Trevor opened up super professional. Like I actually
did.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what I'm in for. And then we just started chatting and it was like,
literally falls apart. So so the whole point is, and I don't know if you've ever listened to our pod before. But yeah, we just want to meet you, man. We want to learn. You have a unique story. You got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of experience on all kinds of different things, which we've had Broman on too, and he had very similar, experience as well. But you might be our first, I don't know if we've had a full-time Facebook stream. Like, to be honest, and this is not joking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited later to get really ask you a lot of questions about the platform itself, because I realize how little we know. We try to talk about everything. We try to give people some insight, hey, this is what this platform is good for. This one's, and we know nothing about Facebook.
Nothing.
Couldn't tell you a thing. I don't even know. What's your bits? What's your membership called?
Oh, they call it supporting.
Oh,
so they call it a support instead of a subscribe.
Thanks for your support.
Yeah, so I just call them subs anyways because that's all I know. As a Twitch streamer, that was the hardest thing.
Yeah,
that was hard to get it out. It was I just call them subs anyways. But yeah, they're called support. You support the creator, which technically you are. So it makes sense.
It's incredibly accurate. But
I'm excited. I'm excited to learn about that. But later. Now it's the really important part: food.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah, yes, food.
The infamous food question. You're going home. You're gonna play some games. You're gonna paint the picture. Okay, painting the picture.
Oh my god.
The game is Destiny.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. You play Destiny a lot, right?
Destiny 1. It just came out. Okay. You just went to GameStop. You just picked up.
It came out 3 days ago. You know exactly what you're doing the day. But you're gonna drive. You're like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna drive through somewhere. Yeah. Where do you drive through?
Yeah.
Where do you drive through?
I don't eat fast food.
I knew you didn't.
Okay, look, but you probably did then. All right, just
okay.
Come on,
let's change it up a little bit. You want to eat something? You could have anything. What would you have?
Oh, a chicken tender pub sub.
That's a first.
Wait, you're
from Publix. Yes, he's talking about the Publix pub subs.
Oh my, a pub. Oh, he called.
Literally, I go on tangents. I'm like, dude, Publix. I walk into this place. Why is all the meat expired? Why is everything so old? Why? And then everyone's hold on, really quickly. And then someone goes, yeah, but have you had a chicken tender pub sub? Every time.
I feel attacked every time. Every time we bring up Publix, you talk crap about Florida. We have sidewalks. We don't just sell expired meat, and we're more than bath salt, Trevor.
Yeah, they also have random gator attacks.
No, the place is horrible. I never want to go back.
Dude, I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah, no.
It's too hot.
It's the worst. No, God bless you for living there. I mean,
pub
I appreciate
it. So good.
Yeah.
And I lived off those in college.
Wildly different experience than me. Too.
True. You seem to
lived in normal Florida. I've lived in retiree hell.
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
I literally
Did you grow up in a gated community?
If you Google God's waiting room, my town that I grew up in comes up.
Okay, fine. I don't understand your outlook on life then.
How do you still like it there?
Well, I moved from there. I don't reside in my home that I grew up in anymore. I left.
No, I mean Florida. I mean Florida.
Because there's more than there's more than retirement homes and swamps in Florida.
Name 4 things.
Disney World.
Okay, that's a tourist destination.
All right, good for a weekend. Go on.
Some of the best beaches in the country.
There's some very good beaches.
Clearwater Beach, St. Pete Beach.
Okay,
they're all great. Yeah,
St. Augustine, Daytona Beach.
Those are all great beaches.
Well, no, but those are also other places to go to. St. Augustine is a really fun place to travel. Cape Canaveral.
What's Cape Canaveral? Was that the NASCAR races are there?
Space, dude.
Come on. Space, bud.
Space.
They shoot
Look, we haven't had a
rockets off.
space program in decades. Don't space bud me like there's some sort of
There's a
blossoming
goddamn
NASA
museum right
program.
there. They launch rockets from there.
SpaceX launches rockets.
He killed Bitcoin. I just know someone. I yelled Elon. They're driving in their car, listening to the show, and they just fist slam the middle console like he ruined.
Ruined Bitcoin. Oh gosh, that's a whole other thing too. God, Tim, there's so many things.
Oh, I love crypto.
Oh my gosh, I know you do.
I'm not a financial advisor, but I'll talk about
Not
it.
on our platform,
goodness.
you won't.
All right, well, we want to get a little more history, a little more
History.
a little more background of Tim Darkness 429 XX underscore nerd.
There was an underscore in my name at one point too.
Of course there was.
Yeah, when I first started streaming on Twitch, there was darkness underscore 429.
Because Darkness 429 was taken.
Yeah.
What? Who's that guy?
I don't know.
Let's
It was a
go.
jerk.
Really quick. For those of you that may have not listened to the Milton episode, I don't think there's anybody, but do you know why Milton has a 1 at the end of his name? Milton P. Pike? Because he stole his name earlier in his life and forgot. So he actually had the other account. And he was mad. He was messaging this guy like, yo, can I have my name back? What are the chances of this? What the hell, bro? And it was him.
He had his own name and forgot the password. Yeah. Still can't remember it.
So he just stuck with the 1.
That's a really good story. That's so much better than mine.
His
The
whole
best
life is
version
that.
ever.
Like that is what his life is. He's done the crazy. Listen to that episode. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah. Thank you for the thanks for throwing it over to me, Trevor. All right, Tim. Early life.
Okay.
Not that early. Never mind. Sorry.
I
You're
was
young.
homeschooled.
You're thick.
Thick. Okay.
You're on PS4 and you're scrolling with PS3. I'm not sure what you're on. When did you discover live streaming? What was your first experience with live streaming?
Yeah, so I was in college actually. So it was right 2011, 2012, somewhere right around there. So
Like,
Battlefield 3 had just come out.
Oh,
And I had just started like hearing about Justin.tv, and it was a lot, and people explained it to me as like, yeah, it's like YouTube, but it's live and there's a chat room and you can like, these people are playing games and you can talk to them. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
mm-hmm.
So I'd check it out. And I think maybe Lyric was on.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was playing like DayZ or something like that. And so, watching that. And then I started doing a little bit of that, like on my off time when I wasn't working or I didn't have class. And so I did, dabble a little bit in that, get a couple viewers. And so like, that was kind of like my introduction to the streaming phase, was watching people and then just doing a little bit myself.
Oh wow! And you had like the rig and everything. I'm sorry.
It was terrible. It was rough. You had to like, it was very like much so held together by bubble gum and paper clips at that point. Like OBS wasn't even a thing. I was using like XSplit. And like doing display capture and it wasn't even like a good display capture. It was really bad. And then we got and then you had to get like a capture card, and it's like when you actually had to get a capture card because there wasn't any software to like really, OBS didn't really exist yet. And so I had to get an AverMedia capture card to then like route things. And it was terrible. It was like, people don't understand how good streamers have it right now.
Dude,
like
it's so easy now to make. I mean,
8 years ago it was miserable.
Even this stream right now, we have 3 of us on here, all with high quality cams, looking gorgeous. You know what I mean? Like this would blow my mind 5 years ago.
Yeah, a DSLR camera you'd never use.
Never.
Oh yeah. Ventrilo and TeamSpeak was very popular back then. Like that was it. Like Discord. Like I think of just like how Discord changed our lives.
What did we use before Discord? It's fairly new.
Ventrilo.
We used Ventrilo, TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak. Was it Mumble? Mumble was another one. So like those were your voice guys, and then we had forums. Like when I first started streaming in 2014, Skype, actually streaming in 2014, we didn't have anywhere to like hang out after streams. So we actually ended up making a forum. I ran my own personal community forum for the longest time until Discord came out.
Holy crap! You're on a forum?
Yeah, right. That's how like.
You really are a comp nerd.
But that was the thing. Like even like Twitter, like even like using like Twitter and stuff wasn't.
Yeah,
that wasn't a popular thing to do back then.
I remember using Skype, but it was a freaking DDoS factory. It was just constantly. It was just like show your IP to the world.
It still does.
It still does. And fix that.
Still does.
Yes, the Skype team has dwindled over the time, I think.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, raid call. Someone in the chat mentioned raid call. Forgot about that.
I remember raid call.
Holy DKP bot.
But that was always the fun thing too, is like you would like just go from one voice software to the next. You always like whatever the new thing was, you just constantly jump to that new thing and then buy a server for it because they were cheap.
Exactly. Yeah, they were not expensive. Even though for some reason back then it was like, oh, $4 for I can't afford that.
You pull everybody in. Who's got $1?
That's I don't know about this.
We got to pay for the server.
Yikes.
Yeah, I remember. I'll never forget. My WoW guild was like, "Hey, Ventrilo, we're gonna be like, we had a big server. He's like, we do the biggest server, and a little bit can chip in. That's good." I'm like, "Nah, I can't do that." Meanwhile, I'm just spending like hundreds of dollars on gold. It just will not donate $4 right to the community guild.
It's true.
Ventrilo.
But that was the other crazy thing too, is that Discord was free. Like they completely disrupted the market. Like there was like, why would I pay for a Ventrilo server when I can just go to Discord and generate my own?
Exactly. And it was like super user friendly, very easy to navigate.
Next level. They put a bunch of Slack
great
features in there, so people are like, I can run my business in here too. And then
exactly.
It's like,
yeah, they freaking did.
We're old.
Not a sponsor, by the way. We are very old. All right, so kind of flash forward a little bit for me here, Tim. So you discover live streaming.
Yeah.
You got it all held together with toothpicks and bubble gum.
Yep.
At what point do you remember, like, where were you at in your streaming career, and at what moment did you decide this will be my full-time job? Like, what was the circumstance surrounding that?
Man, I think once I was able, so I was a full-time student. I was going to be a physician's assistant. So I was finishing up some prereqs to go to PA school, and I was a part-time employee at Best Buy, and I absolutely hated it. Hated every moment of working at Best Buy. It was just terrible.
Retail.
Retail is just, oh my God, just trying to meet quotas, and there's no reason for you to do it other than because they told you to. Like, there's no incentive to do it other than a pat on the back and thanks for making us more money.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways,
it's true. Like, you might get a promotion, but there's no guarantee.
The Kool-Aid. Okay, all right. So sidetrack this one. My first Thanksgiving that I had to work Best Buy was the year they thought it was going to be a good idea to do Black Friday on Thanksgiving Day. I'm sure everyone remembers that year.
That was like people were.
That was like, I think
arms.
that was like probably like 2012 or 2013.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
People were upset.
People were really pissed because it was like the people who had to work those days were pissed because like that was unheard of. You always spent Thursday with your family and then Friday you go shopping.
Exactly.
And yeah, so the first time I had to do that, I remember telling my manager that I was like really upset about it. I was like, man, I don't get to see my family all that often. And he looked me dead in the eyes and he goes, "Don't worry, Tim. Where are your family?"
No!
And I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
He did not say that to you.
He did. He said that to me.
What?
Yeah.
What a psychopath.
He was definitely one of the guys who drank the Kool-Aid. Like he was like, full cult member in Big Blue.
I'm taking Best Buy to the moon.
Best Buy to the moon, Diamonds and Diamond Hands. Like he was like, he wanted to be a store manager. Like the dude would do anything. Like if the manager asked him to do something, like he would make sure it was done. Yeah. So he's that guy. You know that guy.
Yeah.
And but he told me that he like they were also my family. I'm like, I gotta go. Anyways, so the moment that I knew that I was going to be like streaming was going to be like my full-time thing was when more than when more than 5 people started to show up to a stream and I started to like get some traction. People were like tipping and things like that. And then when I was able to completely replace my part-time Best Buy income with streaming, and I was able to like give them my 2-week notice, and I was like, yeah, this is it. And I was also going to school at the same time, and that was the more difficult part of this entire story was that I then was able to stream part-time and then go to school.
Mm-hmm.
And then things started to fluctuate. Like grades are starting to slip, or if I started to, bring my grades up, then the stream started to slip. And I really my wife and I sat down and I'm like, okay, how many people have the opportunity to like play video games their whole life. Like I started to get invited to go traveling to places, and like people wanted me to be and show up to things. I'm like, holy crap, like this is real. Like this could be a real thing. And so like what my wife and I had to have a serious talk of like, do I stay in school and like, live out the dream that I originally thought I was going to have in college, or do I try this new thing out that not very many people have the opportunity to do, which is play video games for a living? Like it's every person's dream. Like if you grew up playing video games, like the opportunity to be in the gaming industry. Like I still remember watching G4 during E3 week. And like getting up early and watching the recaps and stuff. And like when I got to meet like Adam Sessler, like for the first time, like like that was like a really cool moment for me. I was like, oh my God, like I'm the guy on the other side. Like I'm getting to like meet these people that I grew up like idolizing and adoring on TV or like in an Xbox magazine. Like when I got to hang out with Major Nelson for the first time, I was like, holy wow. Like, that was a really cool moment. And so like that. So the moment of me saying goodbye to Best Buy was the moment that I knew like this could really be a thing. And the moment when I decided to do it full time and leave school, then I knew like this is, because I'm definitely the type of person like when I gravitate towards something, I just want to make it the best that I can possibly make it. I'm sure like every person's like that. I would say to a certain degree. Like when you take a lot of pride and you find something to be just absolutely just amazing and pleasurable to you, you want to put all your time and effort into it. And so like that was it. It was like the ability to just like have conversations with people and like also share my so when I was a kid, I wanted to do radio and I wanted to do voiceover and I wanted to have like that. I always wanted to be like that radio personality. And so streaming gave me that opportunity to have those conversations. Like I've always loved podcasting and stuff, just talking. I love talking to people. Yeah. And so having the opportunity to like have that show, like that talk show, and then also play video games at the same time was just the coolest hybridization of two things that I absolutely loved. And I had the opportunity to kind of like make it my own and take it to the moon.
Exactly. Dude, that's okay. So I have a kind of a follow-up to that, because I feel like you were like, I was starting to get a following, and then, I started getting invited to things and all that. But this might be a kind of a self-reflective one, but what do you feel like set you apart to do that? What do you feel like got you those viewers? What a part of your stream made you unique, or your personality? When I first started streaming, like really started streaming, it was after we graduated and my wife had a full-time job with doing mechanical engineering. And so she was doing that, and I was kind of lost at the time, I guess. And Titanfall came out, and I really liked that game. And I remember doing like streaming back in college on Justin, and went back, and then I was like, it'd be kind of cool to like, pick it up again. I was like, I wasn't really in a good place mentally. I was like, I've told the story a couple of times, but I was in a really dark place when we moved. I didn't have any friends. My wife was always working because it was a brand new job for her. Like this was her first job. It was brand new, and she wanted to impress people. So my wife she was working a lot, so she wasn't around. So I was kind of like in like this dark place, and I needed something to kind of like fill that emptiness. And so like I love video games, and like I said, I love talking to people. And so like that was like the thing that allowed me to kind of just get away from that. And I think that's kind of like what set me apart is like I was using my stream as a way to heal myself, in a way to escape. And so just even having a couple people to talk to and just kind of like help fill those sad times essentially saved me. And so maybe that's what set me apart. People have always told me I'm very interactive. And so I think that was always something that always set me apart, was like the interactiveness of me as a streamer to the chat, just because I needed them as much as they needed me. And then also like just playing a game that no one was really playing at the time, but like playing it in a way that was like instructive. Like I always like trying to like, talk. I always tried to teach people. And so like, teaching and talking and things like that, I think was what set me apart. At least that's what I was told. Like when the community manager for Titanfall like invited me to like come do these live streams with them, or like come out to the studio, it's like, you're just a really good streamer and you're a good community member. So I think that's kind of like what started me and put me in the path of like growing the stream. I don't know if that answers your question, but that seemed like that was the... Yeah, that absolutely does. I mean, in so many, I think that the core, it seems like what you're saying is like necessity almost, is like...
Yeah, the other point I wanted to make is that like, for me, again, like using, like when I first started streaming as a way to escape, I didn't put money at all as like the focus of my stream. And I feel like that also sets, like at least for some streamers apart, is like when people don't feel like pressured to like, like, oh, let's hit our sub goal, or like let's hit our like, especially if we're like small streamers. I want to like, I know like big streamers, they do all the crazy stuff, but like small streamers, especially like when they're like always like just like pushing money, instead of like, for me, like I was just building a community. I just was just, people were just hanging out, and I needed them to be there so that I wasn't down in the dumps all the time.
Exactly. I find too that this is just my own perspective, and Trevor's gonna be mad at me because I feel like I'm derailing the podcast, but
they're not.
Is that like with the people that typically find success are more often than not community focused.
Yeah.
But that's not an uncommon thing to hear, right? When people are like, hey, why do you stream? Like, I just like the community. I like the community, which is fine. Yeah. It's fine to do. It doesn't necessarily equal success. It just means that I feel like the people that are successful typically are the ones that focus on that. Yeah. And I do feel like it can be used a lot. It's thrown around so much that I feel like people use it as like a, hey, why do you stream? Oh, I'm just here for the community. But really they're like, yeah, but I only got like 3 subs today.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell they're like, oh, I love this community so much. Wish this community would sub to me.
Yeah. And like, we do that stuff as like a joking thing. Like we've definitely like all done that for sure. Like everybody is like, throws that around like for fun, and like viewers love that as much as like streamers love doing it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, you're definitely right. Especially like I really feel like you can tell, like, especially like newer streamers, you can tell who's doing it for like, because they saw someone make X amount of dollars last month and they want to do it too. And the other side of it, the people who want to just really just express and show their love and passion for something, and then that success just is a byproduct of that.
Exactly. Yeah. I completely agree with that. Yeah. Sorry, Trev. I just
that was a great expansion on the question, Paul.
You did good, Paul.
You did good. I think
sometimes Trevor hits me and it makes me sad.
Jesus. Okay. We're never near each other. It's fine. Except for the one time. Well, that leads us kind of on. This is a kind of an expansion of kind of where we just were. So you've been straight. So what year? Would you say what year did you go full time actually?
So it was the fall of 2014. So I picked up streaming.
Damn, son.
Yeah. So I picked up streaming in the beginning of 2014. So right around when Titanfall came out, and then I was streaming, and then I became partnered with Twitch in April, which was crazy. Like it was just like this like quick like. And so I got partnered in April, and then I went full time in the fall. So like October-ish.
So that year. I have a quick question to that. Sorry. Yeah. So do you feel like, and maybe, I don't know if this comes off as like a personal question. If not, you definitely don't have to answer, but like, do you feel like you did that because you were like able to, I don't know how to, I guess, phrase this, like you were doing well enough, you were like, I feel like I can go full time, or you were kind of like, my wife makes like nuclear bombs for a living, so she could probably support the family while I do this venture.
No, that's exactly what happened. Is that my wife had a really nice full-time job at a very popular mechanical engineering firm, and we got to the point again where that sit-down conversation happened. Yeah, and I was like, hey, like like, we need to make a decision. Like either I do it or I don't. It's either off the train or on the train. Like I've got to figure out, is the PA the thing is where my life goes, or is this video game streaming thing going to be it?
Yeah.
And we both decided that like no one's going to be able to do this, and like you're going to have a small opportunity. Like this thing's going to go away. Yeah. So make the most of it, And so she said, let's go through the summer. So I got partnered in April. It was after the spring semester, so it was probably May-ish that I quit Best Buy, finished up classes, took my exams, and then didn't do any summer classes and just streamed full time. And so I wasn't making a lot of money. I remember vividly that summer, my PayPal balance had $90 in it at one point, which was absolutely terrifying. Yeah, there was a point where I was absolutely broke. I didn't have any more money. I tried to go buy groceries one day and I couldn't. And I actually had to ask my wife to give me money so that I could actually buy the groceries she asked me to buy.
Yeah.
And so the first year of streaming, for the first couple of months, like I didn't have like the big hoop-de-doo Subapalooza thing that streamers have when they go full time. I swear to God, someone makes an announcement on Twitter that they're going full time and somehow they have 20,000 subs. That didn't happen to me because of the time and when I did it. Like in 2014, the idea of being a full-time streamer, the idea of actually making a living as a streamer was laughed at.
Oh,
there was absolutely no way on God's green earth that you were going to be like a YouTuber, because at the time, the only way that you were making money doing content on the internet was being a live streamer or being a YouTuber, not a live streamer. There was the idea of being like on Justin or on Twitch and making enough money to support yourself was silly. And so like that was definitely a time when like that would never happen. If I did that now, like, oh my God, like it would be insane. I'm sure like if you had like a decent following and you're going full time, that first month would be nuts.
Exactly.
But, yeah, definitely struggled for a bit.
Can't wait to do that someday. Gosh. Yeah, you're right though. The full time or the partnership streams are getting these subathons some people are doing are just
unhealthy,
ridiculous,
dude.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, jeez. Well, I know American Dad just did one. He's like, all right, we're gonna go where I'm gonna go to bed for the night, but you guys can play loud sounds to wake me up. I'm like, that sound.
I like sleeping too much. To thank you.
Like what they do. Like Guantanamo, bro. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
Waterboarding and everything.
just don't do that. That's awful. Don't give hundreds of people that power. I'll just shut it off. Be like, all right, that was good. See ya. Bye.
Yeah, but to answer your question, yeah. So my wife took over for like financially for the first like couple of months.
Yeah,
until I was able, but that was the agreement. She was like,
good on her.
Let's see what happens. Like we made like adult decisions, you know, we're like 24, 23 and we're like, okay, let's see if we can actually make real adult life decisions.
Yeah.
And so it was like, let's get through the summer. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, time to get your ass back to work. And I'm like, all right, dope. I can do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And so thankfully I was lucky enough to work. I was like, I finally got to the point within that summer break that I was able to make enough money to like start paying bills and things like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, that's a very common answer. A lot of people like have a little bit of a, I don't want to say ultimatum, turning point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they're just like, all right, I like every single person's like, I have this option and I have streaming. And then they look at streaming, they're like, wow, that's so much better than the other option. Like it just is. Like even you're like, I'm interested in being a PA and it makes good money, but I mean, it's playing video games.
Yeah, like I miss it. I really do, dude. I love like you. Sometimes like I'll go on medical tangents like on stream, and it's just like because like that's still something that's very passionate to me. I love that. I wanted to get into emergency medicine. I did a bunch of shadowing in an ER, and I just love like the quick pace and like just the adrenaline and just like all the different types of cases. You get like a cut to like a gunshot wound or to like someone has like internal bleeding, and it's just like it's wild. It's really really cool. But it's video games, so it's just like, man, do I want to go through all of the stress and strain and just like the really really dark times of going to medical school, or do I just want to play video games? And so those video games kind of just won out. And I always told myself, if I absolutely wanted to, school isn't going to go anywhere. The educational, the higher level educational system is not going to go anywhere. It makes too much money. It's not like it's going to go anywhere. People are always going to school. People are always getting sick, and people are always playing video games. Like those are definitely like the three areas like in the world that are just going to continue to make money no matter what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I can always go back, and that's what I've always told myself. You know, I've always like, if I want to, I could always be the old guy in the room for shits and giggles if I want to like actually go do it. You know, just the options there.
Yeah, after you've made all your money streaming, of course.
Exactly. Just, I can laugh at all the kids as they're struggling eating ramen.
Well then me. I'm older and also have my shit together. So let's talk about. We want people to be able to take things and be like, wow, I never heard about it that way, and I want to give this thing a shot. I mean, this is kind of what we like about the show. So, what's one rule or tip or something you would tell someone that you kind of abide by or you learned through your time being a streamer that you wish you would have known day one and it would have made your life oodles easier? I said oodles.
Don't say yes to everything.
Don't say yes to everything.
Don't say yes to everything, and know your worth.
Know your worth.
That was probably one of my biggest mistakes, was not understanding that and this probably stems from personal issues, I'm sure. But I have a really hard time with self-worth and knowing like what my time is worth. I grew up in a family where we did things for others and we just like gave up our time. It's like charity work. And for just some reason, like that just like kind of stuck with me. And I just always assumed that was the thing to do to rise in the industry, is just like, it's like, be the yes man, it's all sweat equity. Right. And so, but if unfortunately in this industry, sweat equity is not the strongest currency. And so unfortunately people like to take advantage of those that are willing to put in the sweat equity in hopes that they will get more in return later on. Because I feel like, and I don't know if this is true. It's just, I feel like for me growing up, like I was taught that, you put in your time and good things will come to you. And I learned that very quickly in this industry. It's not true. There are good people. I don't want to say that's not, like, there are very, very good and amazing people out there that will love to help. Like the little guys, I was like, hey, like you do this like thing for me and I'm willing to do this big thing for you. And that happened to me, but I got screwed over a bunch too.
Sure.
And so like, that's the biggest thing, is just know your worth. But that's the hardest thing in our industry, is that it's so obscured. Like there really is no, like, you can't really identify like there's no like equation, right? Like people like make up equation like, oh, this is it. But like, there's really no way for like, I truly feel like there's no real industry standard for you to understand your worth, even when you're coming into it, or if you've been in it for 10 years. It's really like those numbers are all over the place. It's all abstract.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like it's difficult. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Tim.
No, you're good.
Was just like, know your worth. But I feel like it is difficult to know what you are worth, right?
Like what is your tweet worth versus like my tweet or my Facebook post, or like my stream versus your stream, or whatever. Like it's so hard but that's the thing, is like you have to come up with something. Like you are worth, your time is worth something.
Yes.
You just have to figure out what it's worth. Like does it scale properly? Like that's always the hardest thing, is like, is my time here worth $20,000, or is it really worth $500? Like really, like, are you really like, giving and taking properly and things like that? And so like you start to finally like understand like what it is. You look at like your average of like income, like throughout a stream, like what do you normally make in a day? So then like do a little bit of division there, and you're pretty much on point.
Yes. Start to make decisions based on how much it'll actually affect your life.
Right. But I had no way of understanding that when I was like taking like, oh, like, it's like, hey man, like you love this product, like here, like we'll give you a thing of it for free if you put our banner up there, and we'll give you a code. And it's like, oh, right. Okay. So even with like 200 viewers, man, so 200 viewers for 8 hours, you're getting X amount of watch minutes on an ad, and it's for free.
Exactly.
It's just, but like, so that is for them, for like paying a marketing team, like they would have cost them money. But when they go to a new streamer who doesn't know any better, they know they can definitely get away with that. They get free advertisement all the time, which isn't fair to the streamer. It isn't fair to the viewers either, because the streamers aren't getting anything out of it.
The concept of like getting free stuff for promotion, considering the size of your audience, and if you post something about it, is like, I don't want to say it's like a scam, but it's not incredibly beneficial unless you plan on getting crazy returns on that code.
Right.
It's just not helping you. It's helping them way more than it's helping you.
They give you like a 5% kickback. Okay. So then like they're giving, like, that's a write-off. Like it's just like, it's not like going to put any dent in their pocket at all. They're not going to miss any of that.
They're not giving the money until they get the other 95%. So it doesn't,
right.
It's not like they're putting anything up front either.
No upfront money.
It costs them nothing. It costs them the time to make a graphic or whatever. And it's not even like a good graphic. It's probably just like a generic copy and paste. It's like, and so, but those are the companies that like they're so predatory, and so many people they latch onto it because they feel like that's their big break. It's like, oh, if I can just get this affiliate code,
and to some extent it does give them legitimacy.
Honestly, and sometimes it does. For some companies, it does most definitely, because some of those companies, they look at like, oh, you're a super fan. It's like let us show that we're affiliating ourselves with you. We recognize you as a super fan. Let's give you a little kickback. Like we do that at King's Coast. We recognize like content creators that are super fans. And so we're like, hey, we noticed you really like our stuff and you post about it all the time. Would you like to have this affiliate link? You can have like a 10% discount code. You're already pumping out our stuff anyways. Like, would you like this? But we didn't go like headhunting these people. We didn't go to like 500. We didn't go to 500 content creators, try to find out who's willing to do free stuff for us and then go with them. Like that's not how we operate. We just like to recognize and, like, if anything, reward the person regardless of size. If you're going to move units and your tracking link shows that you're doing really, really well, or even if you're just like your social posts get a bunch of traction, of course we're going to recognize you and give you a reward. Like, you're giving us free advertisement. You deserve something.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the difference, I feel like. And if you're already a fan of the product and you're promoting it a lot already, and they're rewarding you for that, that's one thing. I mean, it also depends on your size, right? Like if you're a super fan of Traeger and Traeger's like, hey, you want a discount code? It's like, I mean, but like,
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm already using your product. Okay, here, let me use this for example. I'll actually use my Traeger post for example. And sometimes, like, even now, like, I have to be really careful with what I do and how I post, because it comes off as an ad. Yeah. I bought a Traeger because everybody was telling me you should get a Traeger if you want to, like, up your barbecue game, right?
Exactly.
I get a Traeger. I post it on my Facebook page. It reached almost 500,000 people. Do you know how much Traeger would have to pay?
Oh,
Facebook?
Yeah.
You know how much they'd have to pay Facebook
to reach
in order to get an ad to reach 500,000 people?
Exactly.
A ridiculous amount of money, and I did it for free. And I'm like, oh my God, I should have, like, I could have charged, like, Traeger could pay me a crap, like, half that, and they'd get half of what their ad spend would be, and they'd get double the return.
Exactly.
And that's not me boasting. That's just me saying that, like, content creators also need to be careful with, again, knowing your value and giving away things for free.
That's true.
Because I've done that. I'm like, shit. Like, you know, that could have been an ad. I could have made money off of that. But at the same time, for me personally, I've always taken pleasure in other people enjoying my work and talking about it. And so I've always tried to use that the same way. Like Paul, you told me about Me Church. And I went and talked about Me Church, and then the owner of Me Church was like, hey, thank you. You know, it's sick. Like, and so it's like, you know, like I like talking about the products I enjoy using.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, but again, like, you have to be careful.
I posted a MeUndies onesie picture the other day, and they're like, hey, bro, do you wear that all the time? I'm like, yeah, I do.
You wear that all the time.
And was it to get their attention? Yes.
Yeah, of course. And like, and honestly, my Traeger post, dude, was
a little bit like, hey.
Yeah, I was like, you know, like, hey guys, I like your stuff. It's pretty cool. Like, I would definitely love to do an ad. I even said that in the post. I was like, this isn't an ad, but I would totally be down to do one.
Damn, I should have posted Rogue in my freaking bench press video. Shit.
Yeah, like, but that's the thing too, is like and not to get that misconstrued as well, is like, sometimes it's beneficial to give yourself away for free, just a little bit. You know, it's like, and again, because, and it's the same way for, again, back to smaller streamers. It's like, sometimes it is beneficial to you to put in some sweat equity, but understand what you're going to receive in return. Understand the opportunities that could come from this. Like, what can I really get out of this?
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point for me now. It's just like, do I really want to, like, do I want to associate myself with a brand that is going, that I will not really benefit from in the long run? You know, like, what in the like, for me now is just, as I'm getting older as a streamer and as a business person, like, I'm looking at long-term investments, even from just like sponsorships.
For sure.
You know, it's like, you know, do I want to do this one-off thing, or do I want to be able to have a long-term agreement with them that could potentially, you know, evolve into something else?
Yeah. Some security too.
Yeah. And so like, and that's the game we play, baby. Like, that's the fun part of it, is just like, and I will never, ever say that I regret anything that I've done. Did I make mistakes? Did I make stupid decisions? Did I partner with the wrong people at the wrong time? Or did I play with a streamer that I shouldn't have because, like, you know, the things happen? Probably.
Yeah.
But it all got me to this point. And so, like, you know, I'm never going to say like that was dumb, because now I get to have the opportunity to share that with people and express, you know, to them the thing. And if anything, they just grab just a piece of information and run with it. So
it's a freaking great outlook. Exactly. Yeah. The regrets part is, oh man, it shaped who you are now. So that's perfect.
It is. And it's definitely taken me a lot of years to get to the point of acknowledging that and accepting it.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely a point in my life, in my streaming career, when I would just dwell on all this stupid stuff that I did. And what is that going to do? It's not going to get me anywhere. It's not going to make my stream better. It's just going to make me more miserable.
Just make you feel sad. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, man, you just got to live in the present sometimes. And it's always good to learn from the past.
Exactly.
But to dwell on those things, it's not going to get you anywhere.
No bueno. No bueno.
Well, that
deep. Holy crap.
Freaking killed it, bro. Damn.
Okay. You know everything.
Sometimes people are like, get a better webcam. They're like, all right, cool, moving on.
I've been doing this. Oh, okay, we can talk about webcams all night long, dude.
Oh gosh. No, let's hit our listener question today. So, Trevor, was this a text message or a voicemail? Oh, this is a text message.
This is a text message. We'd be listening to it if it were
okay. All right, cool. Lower your voice, Trevor. Thanks for not yelling. Thanks. Shut the hell up. Thanks. All right, our listener question today is from Jacob. He says, hello, my name is Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
I love the podcast. My question is for everyone. If there is one game you can play for the rest of your life and never get drained, what game would it be and why? He's saying never get drained there, but I'm assuming,
we're gonna get drained, but what's your best chance? Like, what could you put the most
that's what I'm
into?
assuming he's going for is like, what do you think you could play for the rest of your life?
So
what would it be and why?
For me personally, I would hate that. Like, I just like the thought of just like if I was given the decision, I'm like, listen here, bub.
Yeah.
You got to pick one and that's it. Like, see ya. Like, I would just leave. Like, I just like the thought of putting time, like an endless amount of time into one game as and I guarantee you the reason why I'm giving this answer is because I'm a streamer.
Yeah.
You asked me this question 20 years ago, I'd be like, oh, Zelda, or like whatever, like Super Mario Brothers, like, oh, it's fucking cool. You know, like whatever, Battlefield 2 or whatever I was playing at that time. Like I would sink all of my time into that. But like, as someone who has been forced to play a game because it was like what I felt was the right thing to do because my metrics were good, and just playing that one game for a year and a half straight, like that has ruined the thought of ever putting like long periods of time into it. Like, there have been games that I've streamed the entirety of, like single player games, like Death Stranding to me, because of the time and when it came, like, which it came out. My son was born like a month before Death Stranding came out, so he was a brand new baby. Death Stranding came out. The connection with like the BD and the main character was just like this very beautiful thing that I don't think I would have appreciated unless I was a dad and a new dad at that point. Like, I just specific. And so like this game for me will always be like one of the best games I've ever played because of just the moment in time in which I played it. But it's 40 hours long, and that's good. Like, because it is like the most, like, it is still like the cutscenes, like it was literally playing a movie. Like, I was along for the ride. The storytelling in the game was perfect to me. Like, the way that it was done, the cutscenes were beautiful. Like, it was perfect. I will not go back and play it ever again.
Yeah, because
I played it. Like, I've played it.
Sounds so
it's
dramatic. It just
it's just like I will never play it again though. Like, and it's the same way with like other games that I've beaten. Like, people ask me this on stream, like, "Hey, you gonna go back and play that game?" I beat it.
Yeah,
You're gonna go back and try it again though? I'm like, why would I do that? I know how it ends. Why do I want to go back and play this thing? Or
exactly.
like, I mean, like, heck, even like other like old multiplayer games. Like, people will ask, like, you know, go back and play Rainbow Six Siege? And like, I played it for a year and a half straight. Like, what more do you want from me? Like,
exactly. Yeah. I agree. I mean, to answer this guy's question as well, this guy, his name is Jacob. To answer Jacob's question as well, I don't know. Even if they're, so I'm going to answer it, I feel like, in a different way. So he's like, if there's one game you can play for the rest of your life, I'm going to say it is like one of the games you could play for the rest of your life. Like, you have access to all other games, but maybe there's a one constant, even if he means it like that. I don't know that exists at all necessarily. Even like, I always come back to WoW. Like, WoW is always my go-to of like, I love WoW. I'll play it on like most releases and stuff like that, but I don't play WoW all the time. And as a streamer, you definitely view games differently. It changes your relationship with video games, for better or worse. And the thought of playing a game even weekly for years, if not the rest of my life, sounds horrifying.
I could play WoW.
Really? You could just log on a WoW every day and that was it?
I'm going to be honest.
Every day?
there is a little. I want to be Asmongold so bad.
Okay,
yes.
so I've never played WoW. I don't know what that means,
bro. So there's no end, right? That's the biggest thing. My favorite time ever playing video games ever was when I was 18, and it was my first off season after Pro Ball. So 2008, Wrath of Lich King was out, and I raided with my guild literally I played 14 to 16 hours a day.
I mean, Trevor, I did the same thing. I thought it was great. It was a beautiful time.
Now,
but I'm 30 now.
Taking it to the next level. Now I'm also removing, like, say I don't stream anymore.
Okay.
Right? I'm just playing a game, or
ideal situations.
Ideal situations, yes. Do I think that I could still be like, yo, I can put 10 hours in this game? I got that feeling again in Shadowlands, where I was like, I woke up, I was like, man, could I fit 8 hours in today? And I was like, wow.
See, like that happened to me with this past Tarkov wipe, where I finally understood the game, and I was like, that's all I could think about. Literally, I would get off stream, and then I would eat dinner, and then when Amy was putting the baby to bed, I would then go and play Tarkov.
Yeah.
And but still, I got to a point where I was just like, nah. It's just like that. But that's the thing is and like that game technically is also like endless. Like you can continuously there's no stop to that. You just keep going, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the hooks aren't as deep with anything anymore, and I really truly think, just like everything else, like I've been talking about streamer brain lately, because I've started to notice the effects more of it, like the inability to read certain words, because I look at it from a chat room perspective, because I'm always looking for memes now. I'm going to tell. Okay. I know you haven't played Resident Evil, but in Resident Evil there is a thing, and it does stuff.
Okay.
It
does stuff. Got it.
Yep. Yeah. And so a word was used to describe something.
Okay.
The word was mimicry. Okay.
Mimicry. Okay.
How do you spell mimicry? Mimicry. I read that Mimi cry.
Mimi cry.
And I read that sentence over, and I probably read it 3 times. I read over it. Like, what the hell's a Mimi cry? Mimicry. Oh, and I'm just like, what is wrong with me? I was playing Bioimmune yesterday. I couldn't read anthropomorphic. I couldn't say anthropomorphic.
Dude, I think you're explaining something that I feel like I have been dealing with for the past years. Like, I'm
telling you, dude. So Ammunition wrote this long tweet, and Lupa had commented, and a bunch of other people had commented on it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was apparent to me until the pandemic, but there is definitely things that I'm starting to catch more that I'm having issues with. And I'm just like, I can't explain it. It's got to be streamer brain.
Yeah.
I really do think that, like, the professional, like, full-time streamers, there's some type of thing, rewiring, that happens in our brain. I would love to see some type of, like, neurological study on streamers when they're, like, in their 60s to see just how messed up we are.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen,
dude. It's true. I remember her posting that and being like, you're right. Like, I remember her talking about, like, I can't remember exactly, but how you read sentences
or names
or names.
Names is big. It's trying to read people's stupid names in the internet.
Thanks, Ladder Boy, but you used a bunch of numbers. Appreciate you. Stall Kid 69. Good to see you.
That's what it is, dude. And man, they, those darn chatters get so upset when you say their name wrong.
Oh yeah.
Like, use one capital one time to help me out. God.
Honestly, that was one of the best things of moving to Facebook, is like a 99% of the user base, they don't use like pages or anything. They use their actual real names. So I'm talking to George, I'm talking to Brandon, I'm talking to Edward, I'm talking to Kristen and Brian. Like, I'm talking to all these people.
So much easier.
Yeah. It was jarring at first, because the old Twitch fans came over, like, I have no idea who you are. Oh, you're that person. Okay. But now they're all just like their first names. And like, I know a lot of them by their first names, and because I associate them with their avatars, their user icons, or their faces.
That's actually really cool. You know their names. It's
cool.
Cooler icons and stuff.
It's very easy to say Steven.
Yeah.
PH and V. I've learned.
I was
like, thanks, Stefan. I say Stefan or Stefan a lot, and they're like, it's Steven.
Thanks, Stefan. I was trying to fancy your name up.
Sorry, bud.
Your boring ass name.
Exactly.
Sorry, George. It's Jorge. Sorry, bud.
Sorry.
That's the only ever time like I get corrected. Like outside of that, it's really easy.
Yeah. Sometimes at the field, I'll be like, "Hey, bro, how's your week or how's your off day?" They'll be like, "Good." I'm like, "Oh, pog," and I'll walk off. And I'm like, yeah. So that's my issue.
I do that with my wife.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't even mean to. I've done that in business meetings.
Poggers.
I've said Keck W before.
You said it out loud.
I've said it.
W. That's
Or
funny.
lol. Lol. Like I literally just use an acronym.
Comp
W.
dork. You're such a comp dork.
I'm such a comp dork, dude.
Imagine saying some of the harder ones like Iron Please 95.
Iron Please.
Just resident sleeper, dude. Am I right?
Resident sleeper.
Resident sleeper. Well, we're
Peepo Sabers, am I right?
I want to learn. I want to learn more about Facebook. So
Yeah.
let's get
Fire
into
away, Trevor
let's
May.
get into the next segment. But before we do that, please make sure that you sub to our YouTube channel, May Contain Action Podcast, and follow this Twitch channel if you're watching it live. May Contain Action on Twitch. Follow the channel so you never miss an episode. We do these live, so for the most part. So we love it. Love having you here. Make sure that we're in that list on the side of the screen that shows you who's alive, because if we're not in that list, chances that you come are low. All right, cool. Moving on to our guest specific event. I'm very excited. We're talking about platforms a lot. You're one of the biggest creators in Facebook gaming, and our first guest that spent significant time on that platform. To be honest, we've never really gotten into it. We discussed all kinds of different stuff: TikTok, Twitch, and the pros and cons, discoverability, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we ask, what was your major draw when you moved over to Facebook? Obviously, compensation notwithstanding. Obviously, that's probably part of it too. But, moving over to Facebook, and they're like, what do you think they do? And obviously, you can put this in a context where you're not, bashing your, like we would say, Twitch could have better discovery tools, and Twitch also agrees with that. They're working on it. They just don't have it yet, right?
Yep.
Like what do you think they do really well, and what things do you think are coming in the future that are going to make it even better?
Okay, so multi-point question.
Multi-point.
So I'll touch. Yeah, so I'll touch on the first one. So definitely like compensation. Like I was offered a full contract. That was like, it was stupid to pass up. It was like, hey, like I'm doing okay on Twitch. Like I'm good. Yeah. But like this would be silly to pass up. And so but putting that aside, when I really looked at it, and like, so yeah, money's great, but then you also again have to look at like the long-term effects.
Yes.
It's like, and so I looked at it and I was like, okay, if I leave, if I get this contract for X amount of dollars and it fails in the first year, and then I have to go back to Twitch, I literally would have to start all over again. Like, would I have like my Twitch friends that would be there, and we have like a big hurrah and rally? I'm like, hey, let's sub back to Tim, blah blah blah. Sure,
you wouldn't come back like
but
Shroud.
It's never. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have like I wouldn't have like the any type of, if for anyone, any type of comeback to that scale. And so like that was a big thing that was really scary. But the things that I really started to look at was like, okay, this is the world's largest social media platform. And they are telling me that they want me to be involved with the building of a brand new platform. I would never have that opportunity to be involved at the base level of any type of streaming platform ever. Twitch was already established. YouTube, there's no way. I didn't have a YouTube following. There's no way I was going to be a part of like YouTube gaming or anything like that off the rip. And that was it. There was nowhere else to go. DLive, Caffeine, like those things were just starting up, but like they were very much a meme. Facebook gaming, very much a meme. Like it was still a meme. It still kind of is a meme, but not as much anymore. Not like Mixer or anything like that. So like, but that was the thing, is like when the world's largest social media platform like says, hey, we want to start this live streaming thing for video games. We want you to be a part of it. And we're going to get behind your content. We're going to help grow. You're going to grow with us, like as we grow with you, blah, 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 blah. The big, like, we're together thing. And like, so that was huge for me. Like, oh my gosh, like Facebook is going to help me grow my content on their platform. That is sick. That is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I would be stupid to throw it away. And so I took it. And so I was like, you know what? Let's see what happens. It was too good to be true. And it was the best thing I could have ever done for myself. Honestly, like, would I have done well staying on Twitch? Sure. But I don't think the opportunities that I have had and like the things that I've been able to do with my reach and stuff on Facebook, it would have never happened on Twitch. And so that was the biggest thing for me personally going over to that platform. It's just, it was definitely just another one of those like once in a lifetime opportunities. And this was the turning point. Again, my wife is like the smartest person in the world. We sat down and we're looking at it and we're like, we're reading through the contract, and she looks at me and she says, "Are you going to hate yourself in a year?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "If you don't go to Facebook gaming pops off, blows up, and someone becomes the next new thing." She was like, I don't remember what she was like, a content creator, that's going over and they blow up and that wasn't you, are you going to hate yourself? I was like, holy shit. Yeah, I will. I will forever kick myself in the ass. I will regret that decision for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. And that was honestly, it was her words that made me say yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Now you're a billionaire.
Yeah, dude. I just honestly, it's you don't see it, but on the other side of the room, on the other side of the wing is my Zuckbuck pool, full of Zuckerbucks.
Full of Zuckerbucks. Is that like Ushbucks?
Pictures of him with his no eyebrows. Just looking at you.
It's them. It's actually the $5 Zuckbucks is actually him with a Sweet Baby Ray's bottle, just awkwardly staring at you with it.
Sweet Baby Ray's.
Just love Sweet Baby Ray's, dude.
Oh yes.
And then the other questions, Trevor, you hit me with a couple. So what was the second one?
What do they do really well? What
things,
features are lacking? Like you can even like pick a feature and be like, I hope we get this or whatever.
So Facebook is the world's largest ad delivery system.
Yes, it is.
That is what they do. That is what they do, and that is what they do very, very well. And they make a lot of money doing it. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, every single post that you see from a page is considered an advertisement. And so that is what they do very, very well. They like to min-max. They love to maximize overall performance on a post. Like that's just what they do. That's what they're designed to do and to do well. But the issue is that when it comes to gaming, they have a hard time distributing that content. When you have a user base that is 1 billion active users a day, and you have streamers that have a very, very difficult time to deliver content to those people. So two parts to this thing. What is Facebook really good at, especially Facebook gaming? Delivering content.
Okay. Very,
very good at delivering content. What are they bad at? Delivering content.
Okay.
It's the weirdest thing in the world, Trevor. So Facebook is really good at hyper focusing content to the people who care about it the most.
Yeah.
So like when you're on your phone and you're on Google and you're looking at something and then it caches and you go to Amazon and it caches, and Facebook is on in the background. It's pulling all of those cookies. It's pulling all of that metadata from you. And then it surfaces the same type of content to you in your Facebook feed.
Yeah.
That's all Facebook does. It literally does it, and then it transfers it over to your desktop, and it's doing the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. The issue, and sometimes that works really well for game streamers. Let's say when Fortnite was popping off, like I would average in like 15,000 viewers a stream. When Call of Duty Warzone first started up, like whenever there's like a big blow up in a certain game, like especially BR free to play games, it blows up within the search. And so Facebook algorithm will wind up and it'll be like, okay, let's just send it out to everybody. The problem is when the algorithm gets tired of that, and it gets in with the other crazy part is like Facebook has a hard time figuring out how the algorithm works. Because it's its own autonomous thing. It's just like it's kind of just running in the background, and then it's just like it's learning and changing and adapting. And so like when it gets tired of something, it just cold turkeys it.
Yeah,
it just cuts you off. So when you go from averaging you can go from 15. I was getting here, I'll use Tarkov for example. Tarkov streams last year when Twitch drops was like the big thing for Tarkov. I was getting 8,000 to 10,000 viewers a stream. When the algorithm got tired of me, I was pulling 600 to 1,000 for a little bit, and then I started to recover and whatnot. But it's the craziest thing. When it gets tired of it, it just stops distributing content.
It's weird. Dude. That's exactly what happened to Instagram.
But Instagram does that. TikTok does it. TikTok does it really, really like TikTok probably has like one of the best distribution platform, like algorithm platforms in the world.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's so awesome. It can, the level of detail that you can search and find content at with TikTok is just mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
But then as a content creator, when you upload something and they do whatever magicry they do in the background, and you just like your third TikTok video just blew up to heaven and back again, and you're just like, oh my God, I made it on TikTok. And then your next video does like 100 views, and you're like, I suck. What did I do wrong?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And that is probably like one of the most frustrating things as being a Facebook gaming creator right now is the uncertainty of content performance. You can do the same thing, the same way, the same time, and get a different result.
And there's just too much going on.
Exactly.
Target
and so
being like timing or
content. And so
content.
you can try to do some things like using like a certain hashtag or adding things. You can manipulate the system a little bit, but it's like it's really difficult to get a good handle on it.
I think it's just taking in so much information that like it's slotting you into something, and if that slot is wrong, like if it's not optimized for you, then it's just not going to do well. And like so, like it's just different people saw it for whatever reason.
Yeah, and so they call it like chaining. And so if you've ever been on Facebook and you watch a video, and then the next video pulls up underneath it, that's a chain. And so you can get caught in this chain. And so what happens is that sometimes the algorithm will actually put a Facebook gaming live stream in that chain. And then so like that will blow up your stream, because then you're getting chained into a bunch of people's chains. Like you're getting inserted into these chains by the algorithm. So you're being forced in there. And so you're just in this lineup of videos. So people are swiping. And remember, 3 seconds is considered a view. And so people, all they have to do is just you're caught in the chain. They're watching a really funny cat video, and then all of a sudden this dude playing a video game shows up.
Yeah.
And so like they watch for a little bit, and then they just
to figure out what's happening.
Exactly. And so you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then so you swipe away, and it is so easy to swipe away on an app. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. It is they have optimized it for you to swipe to the next thing, because that's what keeps you hooked into their platform.
Exactly.
You know, if you can't like manipulate or anything, you just get bored and close it. But no, allow you to have control, quote unquote, control of your content that you're looking at.
My gosh.
Yeah. And so those are probably the two.
I didn't understand how you were like, it's the best at pushing content and the worst at pushing content. And I was like, what?
Yeah, because like, it's weird, right? You know, and then you have like the ability to, and so on Facebook, you can actually put ad dollars behind live streams. I've done it before. I've put like $100 behind a live stream and getting like, you know, a CCV boost or like an overall like video view boost if I wanted to try to see if I could manipulate the algorithm a little bit to like, you know, like if I give myself a little bit of a push, you know, what happens? And honestly, you really don't see a return like you would from like a very traditional media post that you'd put ad dollars behind. Like I would see a much better return of $100 on like an Instagram video or like a story than I would on a live stream.
I'm so hesitant to do that stuff, dude. Like it just feels like such a
you know what? So like as a streamer though, on Twitch, especially like for us as older streamers, when we grew up in the height of view botting, we were conditioned to see any type of outside manipulation as bad.
That's true.
If I manipulate my CCV in any way, shape, or form, I'm a scummy streamer.
You didn't earn it. Yeah,
you didn't earn it. It's not yours. It's not deserved. Screw that, dude. Honestly, like why is it that a YouTube video or a media post, a Facebook post, an Instagram post, a TikTok post, like why is that okay? But like a live stream that someone put money behind to boost to get more, like, and I'm not talking about artificial
real
boosting.
People.
I'm talking about real eyeballs, regardless if those people are looking for live streams or not. If I'm allowed to, like, if I am given the tool set to put a live stream in front of that person through ad space dollars, that's your choice.
Yeah.
If traditional marketing is allowed to do it, we are of the same level. When you go and apply for PAX Pass or an E3 Pass, you're at the same level as everyone else when it comes to media. You're with the Wall Street Journal. You are there with the Times. Like you work a YouTuber, a live streamer. We are considered media. Why is it frowned upon still?
Oh, it's a good point.
I don't understand. It makes no sense. And so like there's actually there are legitimate companies, like real companies out there that you can go and use their services. You put your live stream in there, and they will go and they work with like hundreds of different like gaming focused websites, and they sell them ad space so that they put like live streams and stuff in there. And so you're getting like, you could get thousands of views depending on how much money you want to put behind it and how quickly you want it to be distributed. You can get a significant return.
Yeah, I think
at the end of the day, it's a write-off too. That's the other awesome thing about these types of services, is that it is literally your marketing budget.
I would imagine that some people feel like they are getting ripped off before they even do it. Like, there's no way this is going to actually do anything for me.
Oh, sure.
Type of mentality. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if that's maybe that's like the millennial attitude or something, but just if I give you $100 and you're going to like promote my stream, quote unquote, and then I don't see any, like, how do I measure that return? And
there's definitely an ROI there, and so like, and sometimes you have to look at it as a failure, and it's just a write-off. You know, it's just like exactly. Okay, like that didn't work. That's a loss. Yeah. But I can understand that. But like that's easy for me to say now.
Sure.
Could I say that a decade ago? Hell no. There's no way. Like I could never. Like you can't measure that like on a return. But I totally understand why. Like I can understand it from both sides. I've been in the Twitch directories that have been completely decimated by the view botters. And so you absolutely feel like they are stealing your possible spotlight. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, with how and I feel like the live streaming space was so different back then. Now it is so inundated and it's so saturated, and literally anyone with a cell phone, literally a cell phone, can become a live streamer.
Yeah.
You need no technical knowledge at all. Before it was pride. There was a level of like pride because you had to do all these like different and crazy wonky things to get your stream set up, right? And so like and like that sets you apart. You know, you were the top echelon of streamers because you were able to make it. And so like the idea of someone coming in with 0 followers and they have 2,000 viewers, like, you didn't earn that. You stole that from me.
That's definitely a mentality. Yeah.
Right. That's the mentality we had back then. But now, like, because now live streaming and YouTube and like in this digital age of media consumption, like it's not just like watching TV, like that, like, yeah, that's digital. Like you're watching TV or going to the movie and like reading like the newspaper. But now like we are in this new age of media. This medium has changed completely. And so now we have to treat ourselves, content creators have to treat themselves like traditional media in a sense of advertisement. You have to find new ways
Everyone's
to innovate on how to. Everyone is a media company. I am a registered media company in the state of Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I mean, for my S corp, I had to become like a registered like.
You're not ActionJaxon Media, Paul?
No, I'm just LLC'd.
I'm an Entertainment Incorporated. Yeah, and so we have to be able to find ways to innovate and put out content.
I think I'm actually under a production company now that I think of it. I think I'm actually production in some sense.
Look at you. You're a producer, Paul.
Oh, look at me.
She get you a chair.
Get a chair.
So like one of those megaphones and like the slate.
Shit. Missed opportunity to write it off. Damn it. No, that's why I didn't think of it in the sense of everyone really is their own like the media company.
The old guard of streaming, I don't think will ever look at it that way. Like, or at least like openly, like really think of it. Like you were like, it took me a little bit. And the reason why I bring this up is because actually like one of the companies that my company is working with is one of those companies that does the advertisement for streamers.
Oh, there you go.
And so I've learned a lot about this stuff. And so it's like, and it honestly, like when I met these guys, I'm like, I don't know, this seems kind of fishy. And or then like the more I learned about it, I'm like, oh my God, major companies are working with these people. Okay. So do we want to know an industry secret that isn't actually an industry secret?
Yes.
You ever seen just like a random company that you've known of? Let's just something arbitrary. Let's do Bass Pro Shop, right?
Yeah.
Bass Pro Shop has like a gamer thing coming out. They have a new product for gamers and fishing.
Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I could think of like an actual company, but I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So Bass Pro Shop has this new gamer controller fishing rod thing coming out, right? And they want to get someone to stream it, and show it off and all this stuff. They don't have a Twitch channel, and all of a sudden the Twitch channel's made, and they've got like a crap ton of viewers, but they're not in the hero slot on Twitch. But somehow they've got a bunch of viewers. They're using those companies. They're using these ad agencies to get their content out to websites and to fill up those ad those ad spaces that you get on the side of your websites and stuff like that. And like usually are blocking with ad blocker.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have ad blocker on, you'd see the live stream that was sitting there from someone on Twitch or on Facebook or on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And so like those services exist. And again, it's so different from now. And like, you really do need to find new ways to innovate. And so that honestly, that can go back to the question you asked me an hour ago of like, what's a tip that you could tell a new streamer? Innovate. Try new things.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you don't have to build your channel like literally scraping one. I'm gonna scrape this viewer and I'm gonna make them my best friend, and then we're gonna do it again, and then eventually I'm gonna get to 10,000 viewers and they're all gonna be my best. Like, that's not how it works at all.
But that dream though of like when that thing was real, of like the idea of like having like a really tight knit cute community, and like we're never gonna get bigger, we're just always gonna be so close. and then you blow up and you're like, I really miss when the stream was small.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm successful.
I don't even read your subs anymore.
Yeah,
it's just annoying.
That was so awkward when I got that comment for the first time. Like, you've really changed. I miss it when this was a small stream. And you're like, okay, man. Wow. That hurt.
Exactly. I miss it when you worked part-time at your job when you were 16. Okay. I don't. So
yeah, I don't miss Best Buy at all. Thanks, dude.
We had so many good times.
Damn. So Facebook, let me paraphrase a little bit. So Facebook is still Facebook. Right, it's what you use it for your regular,
to check up on grandma and the cat.
To be honest, I don't use it for any of those things. I'm so not on Facebook anymore. It's crazy. Twitter has always been my thing. I've been on it for like 13 years since it became a thing. So for whatever reason, I use that more. But and then you got to navigate the algorithm, and it's just unique in the ways that other ones are. Like YouTube probably does some of the better discoverability. Things can go viral if you're a video that's similar to other videos, but you can also just get completely swing and a miss in the algorithm as well, just as easily.
Facebook's the same way. Like do you remember Chewbacca Mom?
Vaguely.
The lady who laughed at herself with the mask on. That was a viral hit on Facebook.
Yes, it was.
She became popular because of the Facebook post. So like the opportunity, and just like you said, Trevor, it is the exact same way on Facebook that it is on Twitter. The opportunity to grow exponentially is most definitely there. There's 1 billion people a day who log on to Facebook.
The eyeballs are there.
The possibility of reaching 1 million grandmas
with a
or 1 billion grandmas view. Or 100,000 grandmas, it's there.
Yeah.
The problem is that they don't know how to get it there. And that's the problem, because consistently, that's the issue, is consistency. When you have like when your stream performance looks like a sine wave, like you've got a problem. It's not supposed to look like a sine wave. It's not supposed to be all over the place. It's supposed to be this nice growth chart, and it doesn't.
The way Twitch is built, like I talked about earlier, the list on the side, the people who watch you are going to consistently see you there and watch you. But getting discovered, finding anyone outside of that list is hard as hell. So it's like growing is really an issue, but then once you do grow, holding that number is like way more consistent. If you're consistent on the platform, that's one thing they did. People can capture an audience and hold them much easier,
especially if you hold that top spot in the directory. That is one thing that Twitch will. No, and that's the one thing that like Twitch will always have over anyone else, because they don't rely on a pure algorithmic system when it comes to distribution. A lot of it's still very much so manual selection when it comes to content. Like they will suggest things based on like, oh, like Dr. Lupo's off, so we know that there are people that stream the same thing within the same time that he sometimes like plays with or like hosts and stuff. Like, so they'll show people, but it's still not a true algorithmic distribution.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like auto starting.
No, it's just like a guess. It's like hey, we threw some darts and we hit these people. You might like them.
I got you. Yeah, and then you still have to click on it.
Exactly. Like it's just like it's trying to distribute it based off of one point of data. And it's like, oh, you like this streamer, so then you would probably maybe like these people. But it's still a lot of manual selection. And so like if you hold the top slot, or like if you're within the top 3, you're most definitely going to do a lot better than anyone else underneath you. And so like in Facebook or on YouTube, you don't have that opportunity to hold a top spot within a directory because it doesn't exist. There are no real true directories that people live in. Like communities live in directories.
Yeah.
And so the opportunity to have a community within a directory does not exist when your distribution is based purely off of algorithm. And that is definitely one thing that I miss a lot on Facebook. Like look at that, look at the Destiny, the OG Destiny directory. That community was unbreakable. The most generous, the most thoughtful people resided within that community, and then they grew up or they just went elsewhere. Hell, the Fortnite, directory, the Tarkov directory. Like
you know what you're getting.
Yeah, like people, exactly. Like you know what you're going to get into when you go into that directory, not just the channel itself, but you know the directory, what it's like. And people refer to that like, oh, this directory sucks ass because you know what's there. You know what to find. You know, it's like picking your favorite channel, the shows that are going to be in there. Like, like FX after 10 o'clock. I don't know.
I'm pretty into the hot tub directory, you know what I'm saying?
We have that on Facebook now. We're making it.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
Yep, I saw my first YouTube streamer or a hot tub streamer on Facebook.
You know what? Good for them and whatever folks are about. Literally,
heck yeah, dude. It's awesome.
Little sidebar, and I want to give you an opportunity to do it because we don't want to wait till the very end of the episode. You recently had this section is for you. So you had a really awesome merch drop recently. So
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. By the way, is your merch currently still available, or is that
it's all sold out?
Okay, so it's all sold out. Haha, you all missed it, idiots. But do you have anything? Do you have any events, any merch, anything like in the short term that you would like to tell people about?
No,
nothing. You're just chilling for now.
Okay,
So only the merch that you missed.
But I would love to talk about High Score Tees. I mean, do you want to talk about High Score Tees, or
hit us with High Score Tees because I'm doing something with them too.
Is your time?
Oh yeah. So, do you want me to talk? Like, do you want me to just throw a pitch about them, or like, do you want to talk about like how it happened?
Yeah, this is a plug section. Plug it.
Oh, sick. Yeah. So I mean, definitely go check out High Score Tees. They are now partnered with Rare Drop, which is my company that I co-own with Professor Bromay, which you had on the show.
CTO, that's hence CTO.
I'm the CTO, and Ben's the CMO, and then Kevin, who is our third partner, is the CEO. Anyway, so we actually ended up meeting the CEO of High Score. His name's Corey. We met him because he tried to get us to use his services for GCX, and then we ended up actually becoming business partners. So High Score Tees is actually a brand new merch company that was created because of the pandemic. So Corey was a merch graphics designer for Warner Music. And so he was making a bunch of the merchandise for massive artists. And then because of COVID, he lost his job. And so he's like, man, I want to keep on doing merch. I love these streams. He's really involved in the Sea of Thieves directory. Okay. And so he does a bunch of stuff with a bunch of Sea of Thieves. He just loves that directory. And so he started this merch company to help these guys out because he looked at them. He's like, man, none of these streamers know how to sell merch. They have terrible designs. They're using like a terrible template. They're just like, it's just crappy. And so he wanted to like come out with this like premium service of allowing streamers to come to him and allowing him to have this white glove service of creating the art, creating the store, uploading it all, and just allowing the streamer to just enjoy their merch and just sell it to their viewers without any type of like trying to find an artist to design it and paying them and like all these things. So it's like the business models that he was able to come up with in such a short amount of time and under a year and do really, really well has just been phenomenal. So I'm very, very happy with that. And so we got like Trevor doing it. Like I've never done a merch launch with them until the last one I did, and we just blew it out of the water. Like to the point where we actually had to stop selling it because too many people were buying it because we ran out of stuff. And we had like we just undershot on production, and so we actually had to go back and like make more and then get it out. And we only had like one person that was able to do the shipping. So one guy is like shipping out like more than 1,000 orders. So it's just like a lot. And so, but that's the cool thing is like another one of those opportunities of being involved in something on the ground floor and seeing its potential. And really investing in it. And so like that was the opportunity that we had with High Scores. And I was like, one, cool. Now we get to like have our own like merch store, which is awesome. So we get to do stuff for like GCX, myself, like and other things. And then two, it's just being able to feel confident in merch. I've done merch drops with many different companies, and I've just never felt confident in my own clothes that I've done for myself. And it's like, how can I try to sell this to a viewer? But like, yeah, buy my merch. It's going to be sick, but I never wear it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's
like that.
awkward.
And I've always felt bad doing that. And it's like, you know, like everyone's like, you should get some merch out. So I put a Mimi like shirt up or whatever, but I never wear it because it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Like I'm very picky when it comes to things that are on my body. Like I want it to be soft. Like I want it to like look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And like I never got that with like your typical like merch drop. And so like I finally got that with High Score. So very, very proud of what they're doing.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for letting me plug that. That was pretty cool.
That's a great plug. I'm on their website right now. They have a lot of streamers on board.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of that is we're in the middle of like completely like overhauling and redoing it. We announced a new program actually, which is we have a criteria for people to be considered like partnered with us, but we are also offering a service. So if you don't meet the criteria to become a partner, then like we are selling our services for people to, you know, buy the artist's time to design their merch, and then we put up the store and everything for them. So it's not going to be like a full like free like service, just because like, you know, we need to be able to like be confident that you can move X amount of money, so like it compensates the artist and things like that. But like that's a service that like not a lot of like merchandise companies I think offer, which I think was pretty cool.
100%.
Oh, this is very cool. High Score's great.
Thanks, guys.
They're gonna send me my
I got to
cool
see
stuff soon.
I got to see your stuff.
It's gonna be on the field. It's on the field stuff, so I'm excited.
That's gonna be dope, dude. That's gonna be really cool.
It's gonna be really cool.
Can't wait to freaking buy that too. It's got all of Trevor stuff. It's so good.
Wait, Trevor doesn't send you free stuff?
I'm gonna send him free stuff.
He sent me free.
Oh, I was like, this is gonna be awkward.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, now it is time for a little ad. A little hot ad action. Before we move on to our game, which will be hosted by our lovely producer PM, I'd like to give a shout out to the newest member, one of the newest members of the MCA network of podcasts. Unvaulted is a show hosted by none other than Squatting Dog, aka Jeremy, friend of the pod and Fortnite creator extraordinaire. Join him every other Friday for a rundown of the latest news, updates, and maybe even meet one of your favorite Fortnite players. You can listen to the first episode of Unvaulted now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you may listen to podcasts, including a host of others. I think he recently had a Cypher PK on there, didn't he?
What?
No,
He's really
spoil it.
What? Spoil it? Get out of here.
He's getting him on yet.
Oh,
but when he does, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be freaking nuts. No, so check it out. He's got an awesome rundown of all the latest news and updates for Fortnite. He even has his own app as just a side plug there as well. It's called Squatting Dog. It literally tells you where like all the rewards are, guides of how to get the different rewards within Fortnite. It's wild. He does all of his own graphics. It's nuts. If you're looking for a dude that's just absolutely top tier quality, a solo operation, and if you love Fortnite, there's literally no reason to not follow Squatting Dog on socials and also listen to his podcast where he breaks down a lot of this stuff and with some guests. So check it out. Unvaulted. Again, it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else you may listen to podcasts. PM. Game time, baby.
Game. What do
you got?
Backed by popular demand, we have Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
This was
Would
good
you
last week.
rather?
I didn't know we were playing a game. So this
Playing a game. We always play a game. Remember, it's a radio show, Tim.
We're playing a game. Don't you remember?
I shot it right in the dick.
Oh my
Oopsie.
goodness!
Sorry, that was the wrong one. Sorry.
You need to get like little pieces of tape and
I need to put them
the
on there.
pads.
Yes, honestly, I wish the Go XLR came with like a screen that you could just like put icons, like the Stream Deck.
I mean, small tangent, like just real small, like 2 second, Trevor. The fact that there isn't a legitimate competitor to the Go XLR yet blows my mind. Anyway,
it just came out. Avermedia
What?
just made
What?
one.
No
They just
way.
made a Go XLR and Stream Deck combo. Yeah.
no, they didn't.
It came out. Yeah, it came out this
Full
past week.
production
What's it
console.
called?
Good
Yeah,
question.
exactly. Doesn't exist.
Hey, just
Like,
so everyone
there's
knows
Mac
too,
support.
Paul and I were the first two at Go XLR. People don't know this.
I was in the beta. I was in the beta program.
Oh, we were in the alpha.
even
bud.
before that.
We're the
got
friends
the
and
buzz,
family.
too.
Damn.
We
okay.
know the guy.
Yeah, shut up, Tim.
Wow. Okay, I thought I was special. I was in the beta program. They were in the alpha
Like
program.
an alpha.
Yeah, well, we got this is just a bunch of popsicle sticks put together with glue.
Okay, all right. So this is
It is
the
actually
live
real.
streamer Nexus and XLR live streamer mic 330.
Oh,
Control your
damn.
stream audio and creativity.
And you can
Ooh, good
reach
for
out
them.
with it.
Sick.
That looks
You know
really
what?
good.
I can get that and just like be like, oh, this is for the road setup, and then
Yeah, exactly.
boom, an
Yeah.
excuse
Oh
to
my
try
god,
it.
I kind
You could have chat on there
want this.
too. So if you don't want an extra monitor for it,
Shut
Holy
up.
Oh, that's
moly.
cool.
What?
That's
Jiminy
cool.
X Christmas, dude.
I need to
Yeah.
buy this.
It only took him 4 years to freaking catch up. Goodness gracious.
yeah. And I mean, obviously, it's going to be, I think, trash to begin with, but they'll improve it. It's good that there's a competitor. It's
Yeah,
good.
good
All
for
right.
them.
All right,
Sorry,
how about
game
this game
time.
for the sake of time.
Yeah.
time.
Would you rather that or the Go XLR? No, I'm kidding. Would you rather wear pants 3 sizes too big or 3 sizes too small?
3 sizes too big.
Too big.
What?
Too big.
Who
How
wants
could you?
small?
How could you fit
Okay,
into
if
three
it's
sizes
3
too
sizes
small?
too small, it could go up to like your knee, and it's not as uncomfortable as like 3
That's
sizes
not-
too big, where it's
It doesn't-
constantly
that's-
falling down.
That doesn't
Okay,
make
who's
sense.
gonna-
His pants
pull
work.
their
Maybe you
who's gonna pull
love
their
My
pants up to
Chemical
just their
Romance.
knees?
Yeah.
What is wrong
Have you
with you?
ever? Okay, you
2002?
obviously didn't live in the
Who does
drinking
that?
area, so,
It's a dumbass question, PM. Move on. God.
What a poor.
I'm out of here. All right, number 2. Would you rather lose your ability to speak or to hear? This one always gets
Oh,
me.
that's tough.
Speak.
Speak.
Speak. Yeah. Yeah, speak.
Yeah.
Oh,
think
if I
speak.
couldn't speak, I'd be. Oh, never talk on the phone again.
There's I just heard on NPR there's a really cool like technology they're developing to turn your thoughts into handwriting. So
cannot wait for that to backfire.
yeah, they have
Kill
it
us all
like
somehow.
they have it like being written by like a digital pen, and you think about writing words down, and it writes it for you. It's like faster
I'm
than
gonna
I mean, like,
murder
that's what a
you,
lot of like
so.
what Elon Musk is trying to do with like the Neuralink, and
yeah.
it's some really cool
Dude,
stuff.
I've
Awesome.
read Ready Player 2. No, thank you.
I have two. Okay, so did you like two more than one? Did you like one more than
I like
two,
one
or
more
two
than
more than
two.
one? I like one more than two as well. I liked a lot of the pop culture references in two. It just the story wasn't as intriguing as the first one.
You guys
What's the
read
stuff you're
books?
Like, come on, bro.
Well, I did actually. So I do it on audio tape when I'm working
Yeah, I was
out.
listening to
I
audio
love
Audible.
Audible. I
Yeah.
love Audible.
I listened
Wow.
to Audible too.
Potential
On an
ad
8-hour
there.
trip.
Someone's gonna catch a murder charge just in the court case. They'll be like, "So did you do it?" And he'd be like, "Oh, nothing." And in the back of his head, he'd be like, "Yeah, I did that shit last weekend."
According to this magic pen, you
Don't think
did
about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Don't think about a pen writing now that you did it.
The guns outside. Think of your grandma. All right. Number 3. Would you rather experience the world beginning or ending?
Wait, sorry. What was the question again?
Would you rather experience the world beginning or ending?
Beginning.
Beginning.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Endings are
The
Sad.
ending. The ending is really depressing. The beginning is
unless you're
really
flying
beautiful.
home at the end of the season.
Okay, so let's say like you weren't a part of the ending. Wouldn't you want to know to like how to stop it?
No, because so like the universe is forever expanding outwards. And so at some point,
Oh,
the
boy.
actual fabric of the universe
Oh, boy.
will at some point actually stretch apart.
Oh,
and so
no.
the fibers, the things that are smaller than atoms, the actual the matter, the fibers of matter that keep everything space and time together are actually going to pull apart from each other, and then that's it. It's all done.
No.
It's gone.
Can't do it.
Do you really want to be a part of that? I'd rather watch The Big Bang.
I'd rather watch Big Bang too.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch that than watch space and time being pulled apart at a fabric level. Like that that sounds depressing as shit.
I often think what it would be like if I was sitting here right now, the beginning of time, where I like what would it be like if you if I went back in time right here, right now, where you guys are sitting, what would it be like?
Dark.
It'd
Really,
be weird.
it'd be dark.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like, I don't know. This is here's the comp dork in me. Like when think about it, like all of the energy in the universe from one finite point exploding outwards at a speed that you can't even fathom. What would that look like?
I don't know.
It would be the coolest fireworks show you've ever seen.
If you could
Energy.
even see
I
it.
don't.
energy cascading at millions of miles per hour, just hitting each other and just exploding. It's like making love, but like a million times more ferocious.
Okay,
like
Weed
it's just
Teeth,
like
calm down. Let's take it easy.
Ferocious. When does Interstellar come out?
What?
So,
I loved Interstellar. What a great movie.
Nothing like ferociously making love.
Okay, so the beginning,
taking a bite out of your partner. You know what I mean? Just really.
Would you rather only be able to whisper or only be able to shout?
Whisper.
Okay.
These are
shouting is
preferably never being able to speak again. So get me out of so many jams.
Would you rather
when people yell?
Would you rather use boiling water as eye drops or gargle the hottest hot sauce for mouthwash every night?
Oh my God.
You either burn your eyes out or
mouth. Always mouth. At least hot sauce is meant for your mouth.
Don't mess with my eyes.
Would you rather stab yourself in the eye orbitals or do math problems? What?
I guess I'd rather do the hot sauce.
Yeah, hot sauce for me, I guess.
The boiling water is you're blind. That's it. Like done.
Yeah, no, I get it, but you're gargling that hot sauce.
That's okay. I'll just pour a bottle of ranch down my throat after. Like that's fine.
Yeah, build up a tolerance or something. Good night.
Okay.
Dark.
Would you rather lose the ability to lie or believe everything you're told?
I'd rather tell the truth than be gullible as shit.
Yeah, I'd rather tell the truth than be gullible.
Yeah, lose the ability
I've watched
to lie.
Liar Liar. He can get through it.
Yeah, the pen is blue.
The pen is blue. That is the court case with the guy's thoughts being written down. The pen is blue. The pen is blue.
The only reason that was tough for him is because he was a lawyer.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
If he had any other job, they'd be like,
and
this is just normal life.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm okay with that. I'm good.
Royal blue.
It's a great movie.
God, I stand by
amazing movie.
That's probably my favorite comedy. I think. I know it's a hot take, but I freaking love Jim Carrey, and it stands up. I watched it recently. It's just as hilarious.
It's really good.
Oh
what
my
was the
gosh.
elevator scene?
I weigh 100 pounds. Yeah, in your bra.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Simmons is old. Sorry, we're going on there.
Okay.
Go on. What's the next one?
Would you rather have a permanent hangnail on your big toe
Oh my god.
or a permanent bad haircut?
Permanent bad haircut.
Permanent bad haircut.
I was 16 years old and I had.
But you can't wear a hat. You cannot wear a hat
every day.
cannot wear a hat.
That's okay.
Nope, can't wear a hat.
That's fine. I had 2 ingrown toenails, big on my big toes.
Trevor, you got some bald spots.
I let them go. It is miserable.
You had 2 ingrown nails? What?
2 ingrown toenails. Never again. It was the worst.
Yeah,
I actually had to get them surgically removed. Yeah,
What?
it was. Yeah, they had to go in and like numb it and like cut it and like acid and stuff.
Okay, yeah. They used all the
I
stuff.
I will lose my hair before having to deal with any type of nail issue again. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go
noted.
bald. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be reincarnated as a sea creature or an airborne creature?
Ooh, fly.
Airborne.
Airborne.
What we're doing to our oceans right now? No thanks. I'm out.
I get that, but how much of
by a shark?
How much of the sea is not explored?
Ooh, yeah, with terrifying shit.
Yeah, exactly. What alien-like creatures live below? I'm good. I think we got a pretty good handle on what's in the air, so I know what I'm getting into. You know what I mean? I'll be good up there. Yeah, okay. No, flying, 100%. Who doesn't want to fly?
That's my fantasy. Like that's my superhero fantasy. Is like if I could have one power, it'd be
Superman or Aquaman.
Yeah, who wants to talk to fish? I'd rather go fly.
Exactly. Stupid Aquaman.
I could have said a spoiler, but I didn't do it. Would you rather be the person who flips the switch during an execution, or be the judge who decides who should be executed?
That's so dark.
Neither one of those two people.
Neither.
I mean, I can't say neither.
Okay, then I'll flip the switch.
I'll flip the switch.
At
least I can blame it on that guy.
His fate's already decided. I've been watching a lot of.
You're watching.
I've been watching a lot of Vikings lately, and so fate has already made its choice. Odin be praised. That guy had it coming, regardless of my flipping the switch or not.
I feel like I'd rather be the guy who decides.
Really, you like to be the judge? I feel like I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
So Paul
I feel like
is
it'd be
power hungry. So.
I feel like it would be easier because, like,
really,
with,
you really
with
feel
the,
like condemning someone to death would be easier than just doing
I mean,
it?
you're
Putting
kind
it
of
out
doing the
of your
same
mind,
thing.
though.
You can always not flip the switch and clear your conscience, but like. If I
then
have
you're
the
gonna get
decision, if I have the, I mean, oh God forbid I lose my
Just be a
job.
streamer. Just say,
Not
hey,
murder a person.
these are my two
No.
options. Give me
To
some.
be
To be fair,
yeah, but you lose your job. Yeah, but no
you would lose
murder
your
would
job,
happen.
and they would just hire somebody else to do it. So like, is it
Yeah, but it wouldn't be your fault. Be selfish.
Look,
That's
let
true.
let my answer be my answer. All right, I'd be the judge
True,
who
it's true.
decides because basically I'd be like, hey, look, no, you're just gonna go to prison for life. I'd be like, all right, no.
Yeah.
I like Trevor's answer. He's just going to turn it into like a sub war. Hey,
Yeah.
can I get 10 gifted for this guy to go to jail? 20 gifted, I'll let him go. Like,
35 gifted, he gets the chair. Oh,
and you
If he
prime
gets it,
subs.
we're actually encouraging him to do again whatever he did.
Alrighty, last one. Would you rather drink water from a vase that is 2-week-old flowers, or eats a giant 3-foot spider web?
wait,
Give me the water.
I just suck it up and drink the water.
I've
drink
done
the
that
water
once. I've
or
been
eat
so
a
tired.
spider web?
Oh, I'm sorry, you've done that once?
Yeah, you know, you're in a hotel and you're like, hey, there's no water anywhere. Oh, how long have these flowers been there?
Flares?
No,
Flares?
that's not true. They don't fresh
Really? You
flowers.
just drank water out of a vase?
No, but I've drank some dusty ass water.
Oh.
Like I drank a glass of water that like I went on a road trip, came back, and it was from before, and I was like, oh no.
Oh. Yeah, stale water is gross.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around. You said a 3-foot wide spider web?
3-foot long spider
A
web?
giant 3-foot spider web.
The-
So
the-
do you like
3
do
feet's
you
not
like
that
just like
Like a
yeah,
ball?
yeah,
3
but
feet's
like do you
not
just
that
like
big.
nibble? Do you like nibble it like cotton candy, or
Are
just
we
like
talking
roll
a
it up?
square? Are we talking a square yard?
Someone
Here?
said nature's cotton candy.
Think
Yeah, I
about
guess a
that
little-
one
yeah.
time that you were like, "Ooh, it's so nice out here. It's summer," and then you walked under that tree and you're like,
Yeah, or watching your basement.
imagine
ever.
that times
Imagine
30.
eating that.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
no."
Yeah,
Water.
you
Don't
just
you
walk
hate it
in
when
your
you're just like
basement
it's that
one time.
one strain, you're just like, "Ah, come on, shit, come on," and you think it's gone, and then somehow it gets like behind you, like
Yeah.
in your shirt, just a little bit, or your wife's hair, very similar. You're just like,
Oh my gosh.
Is
The
there
places
anything
I find
worse
my wife's
than
hair.
thinking there is a spider
That's
attached?
just about to say
Yes!
that.
it's the
Bro.
worst
We're
thing.
doing
and
that
somehow-
because there's a spider now. Like,
Yep.
not because of the web. We're just
You
like,
spend-
it's on me somewhere.
You spend the next 5 minutes thinking like everything that touches you is like a spider, and you're like slapping your leg and hitting everything you can
Yeah.
to make sure nothing's there.
Do you
Miserable.
ever like have that sensation and then tell yourself, "Come on, Paul," or "Come on, you person who is this person? It's not a spider. That's crazy.
then
There's
it
no.
is.
What are the
Then it's
chances?"
actually a spider.
And then it is. Yeah,
Yep, that's happened
Oh.
before.
that happened to me twice last week.
You
I
have
had a spider
issue.
incident.
It's frickin'
I had a
spider
spider
season
incident
here.
while I was cooking. I had one come down from the hood, and it just like
Oh.
just came down on his little string in front of me
He was
as I was
hungry.
cooking. He was just like, "Hey, what's up?"
Bold. But whenever they do that, I'm like, okay, guy.
spider.
He was like, I heard you wanted to eat a 3-foot spider web. Let's go ahead and make this right now for you.
Oh, hey, that's a
this
nice
out.
Let me
steak you
just
got
poop this
there. Hey.
Hold on, I'll be done in 4 days.
All right,
I
that's
think we
it,
got
that's
it.
it.
Nice.
Gross game.
I like
dude.
would rather. I like that.
Yeah, super weird game. Very dark.
It's not even
very-
a
yeah, very
game
dark.
anymore per se. It's just kind of us answering questions, but it's great.
No, it's great.
Love
I think
it.
it's a great
fun.
game.
I love it. All right. Well, last segment before we take off. This has been a robust episode. Robust.
Yeah.
But we do, Tim, we do a little segment right at the end. We give a shout out to someone content that we've either had on the side monitor, because as you know, as I'm sure you do very often when you're doing work, answering emails, you got to stream up on the side. Or a YouTuber or TikTok. We've kind of expanded it to everything. Facebook gaming,
Nice.
anyone, anywhere. It can be friends or just someone you discovered recently. Like, I will go first, give you some time to think. You can do multiples if you want.
Nice.
My recommendation this week is none other than my co-host ActionJaxon.
What?
Yes, because I have basically exclusively been watching your stream since our last episode, and especially with Apex and all this stuff, and just like listening to the banter. And it's I miss you guys. I miss playing every day, and I miss you guys. I want to hear all your voices, and I tend to go to Paul's.
Aww,
more than other people's.
Thanks, man.
He's really good looking. It's fine. I get it.
What is that? What'd you say?
So,
I said you're good looking.
ActionJaxon on Twitch.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. I to that note, I have been having a blast playing Apex. I need them to make squads, even though I feel like that would be crazy. That'd be a crazy map. Playing with only 3 people at a time it can be rough for including everyone and whatever.
Yep. Yeah. They actually tried 4 and they said it was just too much.
That was the issue when the game first came out, remember? Like getting groups. People were getting left out, left, right, and center.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So they reduced it. But no, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Apex is a blast. Even though me and Jen aren't great at it, but we're getting better. We're really
super fun though. It's still really fun.
Really getting there. It's so freaking fun. My gosh. Oh man. So my shout out today is pretty straightforward. Is Ashlina. She's actually one of our Ashlina is one of our podcast network hosts. She hosts her own podcast called Motivational. She is still going strong with that. And actually recently she was posted on Twitter something about like essentially being kind of like, I don't know if the word is really burnt out in a way, but just kind of like, I feel like it's a cycle that happens for a lot of streamers. You just kind of get like overwhelmed or burnt out or whatever you want to call it. And you kind of have to take a break. But she has been really communicative. So I actually just want to commend her on that. I've been kind of following more on Twitter than anything else, but just communicative on, hey, I'm still going to be doing these podcasts. Hey, I'm still going to be doing this. This is what I am doing. And just kind of talking to your community about what she is doing, what she's making. She made a fan house. She's doing the podcast. She's actually live right now playing Subnautica. So shout out to her. She's just very communicative with her community and is very inclusive and has a kick-ass podcast that she does. Again, Motivational. Go check it out. And I just appreciate her spirit and her attitude more than anything. So she's actually inspiring to me whenever I see her post. So Ashlina, go check her out. She's awesome. And also has a freaking kick-ass podcast. So
sick.
Yeah.
So my shout out is going to be for a guy who I've known for a really long time as a YouTuber, and then he came over to Facebook gaming when I did. And his name is Good Game Bro, also known as Doug. He does a lot of like sports. He does a sports podcast with his buddy Mills. And so like that's been really great to listen to. They do that once a week. But Doug, for the longest time, was working over at Nestle. He was doing a lot of like their activations for streamers and content creators. And then unfortunately, he left that job and it now works at 2K, which is really cool, helping them with like content creator strategy and whatnot. But he's also still a full-time streamer and a dad. So not only does this guy work full-time, he also creates content, is a dad. And so I have a lot of respect for Doug and what he does. And he's got a great voice. He has an amazing deep voice. And you know when he walks into a room because he's super tall, he's got this deep voice. And so shout out to Good Game Bro. He's over on Facebook.
Awesome. Good Game Bro.
Yeah.
Freaking, I've been actually like low key getting more into like sports streams and whatnot and just like sports content.
It's actually on the rise right now. So they're actually like seeing that in the next couple of years, like sports, like the video, like those types of content streams are going to really start to take off.
Let's go.
I freaking pumped about it, man.
Yeah, Trevor, you're ahead of the curve, bud.
Trevor, who's that guy that does the I think you're on a podcast with him. I think his name is like Jim Boy or Jim Bob. He just like
John Boy.
Bro, I don't know. First of all, I don't know how he does that. And second of all, that's the kind of content
an issue. It was a big issue.
I bet it was for the MLB. But like that's the kind of content we need for sports. It's just like live streamer personality mixed with sports is going to revive, I feel like, the sports in general.
I'm working on it. Trust me, there's some stuff going on,
dude.
Getting access to the actual like media is actually, because there are tons of people that make content. They're just doing it within the means that they have. So like there's very little like playing a clip from the game and then not worrying you're going to get DMCA'd for it later. Like so there's a lot of people that are afraid of that. I know that John Boy had a very long road of getting like green lighted. Like there was a lot of being told to stop before he was able to do that full time. So like shout out to him. There's a couple other guys. Bob Menery, who I own the FCF Zappers with, another guy. He does the funny commentator, like he does the alternate commentating over funny clips. He's been doing that for years. So you've heard his voice. He's like, here he comes around the corner. That guy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Bob's hilarious. And he's been doing that for a long time too, but he's created a whole brand around that. But that way he did it in sports that weren't baseball for the most part. So I'm sure he didn't have to jump through as many hoops because other things are open. But John Boy, and then he created a media company like we were talking about.
Yeah.
And then now he's expanding it and bringing in real talent and stuff. And they're very early in their like very similar to what Barstool did. So it's, you know, he's awesome. He's awesome.
That's fantastic.
So I know we're getting late on time, but do you think that it's hard for like the sports game genre in our field of work? It's difficult for that to take off because of the old guard within sports as a whole, like old owners, the old media, like everything's still very much so traditional. Do you think they're kind of like keeping it down a bit when it comes to like
a little bit? IP was a big issue. So like there's been a dry spell over the last like 10 years too, because the games didn't like straight up, like they didn't sell physical copies of the game. They just stopped being interested in giving people the rights to the IP, and so the money wasn't there. So they just stopped doing it. It was like it was more. At least the MLB, they tend to hold things closer to the vest more than just like give full access. They'd rather do that and then find an opportunity later than make the wrong decision. Like really, and
they want to make sure there's a strong ROI in it before they actually put anything in it.
That's why MLB The Show has been the only real MLB registered IP in the last since like 2012. Like there's been no 2K baseball, there's been no MVP baseball. It's because it got expensive to do that, and then Sony owns that, and then basically San Diego Studios, who makes it, only makes like 3 games. So like they have a lot of resources. They don't have they don't. I've been there a few times and talked to the team. They wish they would very much love to have more people, but it's not like they've been able to dedicate a studio kind of to the game, and then no one else has really done that. But the cool thing is now gamification is becoming really popular in professional sport in media. And so now they're starting to phase that into the games again. So it's becoming more like for example, 2021 has this like you can listen to podcasts where they talk to you as a prospect when you're doing Road to the Show, and they have the actual talent from MLB TV and stuff that record all these pre-recorded. So that's a really cool storytelling thing.
Yeah.
And we've been talking a lot about expanding create players to get more crazy, because I've been doing streamers. I've been creating streamers from scratch.
Yeah, I've watched you do it. It's really you made Lupo, and that was hilarious.
The Lupo one, I just made Ninja, and we got really close to him too. Couldn't make his hair blue, but we got close with blonde. And Tim was like literally spot on. Like I got him perfectly. I crushed him. Yeah, Tim the Tatman you made for him was perfect, and his little run, 100%. That's exactly how he is. I guarantee it. And then get him to face me. So that was a really interesting take. And now I'm seeing people like you can get really creative with like your Road to the Shows, and I know in Madden's the same thing. Like you can get really creative with your competitive teams and like your branding and 2K even has face scan in the game now. That's so like cool. There's all this community stuff that makes it really unique to you. I think that's why those games are getting popular again.
Yeah, well, so
you
like
can create content in them.
We run just automated football games on our Rare Drop Sports stuff. Like we just have like wager matches that people can use like channel points for, and it's just like a bot that just runs it. But I think like those types of streams I think are really going to start becoming more and more popular. Like it definitely like the people watching sports is continuing to go down.
Yeah.
But people want to get more. They want to get more involved in actually playing them via the video game. So like, there's only room for it to go up.
I don't think that people like not into sports as much. No, I don't think that's a thing at all. I think they're interacting with sports in all these different ways now that they're finding more people are finding their way to do it.
As though they're not engaged anymore.
They want to feel like they're involved with it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
when you're watching it on the TV on your couch, like it's just like you only get so much.
Exactly. So I genuinely believe it's just where the eyeballs are more spread out, because there's so many different ways to watch stuff now that it's hard to kind of quantify it as easily as it was before. So there's a lot of adjusting. But I think you're right, though. I think games are becoming the sports games are getting gamified in a way where like they're built. They're letting you go in a content direction, which means creators are more willing to play it, which means more people are willing to give it a shot, which means more people are going to play it.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how games are marketed now, right?
Like I would love to watch a game that, like a sports game that wasn't just a pack opening stream. Like that's all FIFA streams are, just like them opening packs. And like that's really it. Yeah, it's all just like
there's so many players though. Like that's one interesting thing for FIFA. Like literally the number of players you can get, it's like 8 to 10,000 players, and like in baseball, there's only like 1,500 total players in the league, and everyone doesn't even have a card.
I don't even remember that many people that are worth a damn. Like that's insane.
But FIFA has just think about how many like football teams there are, and then how many like legends there are. Like it's from all over the world. Like that game. That's why that IP is so crazy. But FIFA's got a monopoly over that shit. So good for them.
Damn.
Yeah. That's why I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're
Trevor started.
Yeah, you got me going at the end.
My bad.
Well, I have absolutely freaking loved our conversation. This has been
it was fun.
Fantastic. As we kind of head out here, guys, to our listeners and viewers, reminder that you have 2 ways to get onto the podcast yourself. One is the review of the week. The other way is our phone number. Again, that's 503-908-9526. You can leave a text message or leave a voicemail. We'd love to hear those sweet, beautiful voices. Please leave us a voicemail. It is also a ton of fun.
Please read this review name very slowly.
Okay, I will do that. Here is our review of the week. This one comes via Apple Podcast, and it's from Blumpkine.
Thank you. Thank you for saying it slowly. I appreciate it. Because you could immediately say something else, and it's not what it says. Okay?
You're right. I was going to speed through that and just
yeah. Where's Jen when you need her?
Oh boy.
What's that?
All right, we'll do that later on streams.
Blumpkine said, I started this podcast by only listening to people I watch and follow. Then I got hooked after I finished all the people I follow and listen to. And now I'm addicted to the podcast and I need to listen to it to get my fix. Love that. We want to be that sweet, delicious drug that you go to for your podcast. Just that ear heroin. You know what I mean? Thank you, Blumpkine, for that addictive nature review and possible drug abuse. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Ear heroin.
Do not forget to leave a review where you can. You can listen to the May Contain Action podcast on all major carriers of podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. You can watch the VOD on YouTube. You can probably watch the VOD on Twitch as well if you're into that kind of thing. I don't know, like all 5 of you who are super down to watching Twitch VODs. Please leave a 5-star rating where you can. Thumbs up, subscribe, leave a review. All that stuff, I cannot stress this enough, helps us immensely. Interact, give us that little freaking heck, give us a thumbs down and then click it again and then give us a thumbs up. I don't care what you do. I'm not your dad. Just do something. Also, go follow us at May Contain Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and at May Contain Action on TikTok. Before we go, let's give our guest Timothy a chance to plug all of his stuff. Where can people find you, Tim?
Hey, fine. You can find me over on Facebook, fb.gg/darkness429, and darkness429 literally everywhere else. Just Google it. It'll show up. It's right there.
Boom! Just Google YouTube, it. Forehouse.
Just Google it, dude.
Just
Forehead. Come
Google
on.
it. Forehouse. I even tried to Google XX Darkness429 XX.
Did it come up?
It didn't. It just sent me straight to your Twitter.
That's great SEO right there. That's what that is.
Exactly. It just ignored those X's. It kicked him to the side. It was like, no, you're looking for this guy.
Perfect.
Right. So
no, that's his old name. This is his current.
It worked out. Exactly. Thank you guys all so much for listening and watching. And again, thank you to our guest, Tim, for being our guest. We really had a great time. Loved having you on, man.
Have a good night, guys.
See ya.
See you next week.